Okay, this is Nick the Broker at Rubicon Real Estate, and today we're going to talk about buyers and protecting buyers. But this also applies to sellers, and it applies to us, how we protect ourselves. Okay? Now, if you want to know more information, you can go to our website at www.rubicon.la, and it give you more videos. I'm saying that now because our director Mimo tells me I'm going to forget if I do it later on. Is that okay now, Mimo? All right. Buyers. Let's say you're a buyer. The big rule is caveat emptor. Caveat emptor, I think it's Latin. It means let the buyer beware. Because if you're not going to beware and be careful, you're going to get screwed. All right? And that's the way life is, and that's what's happening. We are a very Darwinian species, right? Survival of the fittest. And I'm not kidding. It really is like that. And until we know that, we're going to have a lot of pain. Especially if you're young and you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and think it's, you know, it's not. Okay? And when we're dealing with money, have you noticed people change when they deal with money? You know them, they all go to church on Sunday, and they're hugging each other, and they're in the parking lot, and all kinds of stuff going on, and then they get into business and then tear someone apart. That's what you've got here when you're in real estate. Real estate, a person's most valuable possession is usually their home. Okay? And you're talking, people kill for $100. Right, in a bad section of a city, or even they kill you for $100. What are they going to do to you for $100,000? I'm on a deal now, and they're telling me you owe us $150,000. Get out of here! You know, I owe you. You see, they go for it. They'll try to intimidate you, but if you do everything right, you don't care. You know, you don't have to worry about it. That's why I say that's why you use disclosures in this business. You do everything right and don't lie. You don't have to lie in real estate, okay? And that's a big advantage. So let the buyer beware. For example, all of these things have happened to me. You buy something, and you see a couch, and you buy it. You say, this is a great couch. It's $2,000. Okay. Then as you're walking out, the salesman says, what? Wait a minute. There's a delivery charge. Now I got a delivery charge. See, he didn't say that initially. He said it when I went ahead with the contract. I actually signed the contract. This happened to me. And I said, now I got to pay delivery charges. What are you talking about? And he says, oh, yeah, you know. Then after I leave the place, I find out later on there is a setup charge. Not only do they deliver the couch, but now somebody's got to come and charge me more money to unpack it and put it in the living room. You see what I'm getting at? It's like everybody is hustling you all the time. And you've got to be able to see the trick, right? The magic trick. You got to see the trick. Now, how could I have avoided that? Well, I did avoid it with Fry's. I bought a TV from Fry's. And sure enough, when I actually wrote on the contract, this is to be delivered, and it is to be installed. I don't want to do anything because this is a problem. I don't do anything. You come in, you deliver it, you install it. But I wrote it on the contract. Okay? That was very important. On the couch, I didn't write it on the contract. And so they hit me, right? So you see, okay, so what happened at Fry's? Sure enough, they deliver a TV. And the guy brings the box. He says, okay, here's your TV. We're going. I said, what do you mean you're going? I said, hey, you've got to unwrap. You got to take it out of the package and install it so it's working. You don't leave here and I sign nothing until it's working and hanging on the wall or whatever. Sure enough, it doesn't work. They unwrap it, they put it all together, and it doesn't work. Why? Because someone else had gotten that television and damaged it. This is what people do to each other. And you have to protect yourself. We are real estate agents. And we have to protect ourselves by telling the truth and using the disclosures. The disclosures, I'm telling you, there are so many. You get a headache. Just 15 for the seller, let's say. Whatever it is, you do it. Okay? Now with email, that's another thing. Everything is email. Marketing, prospecting, everything is going email. I sit there all day trying to learn this. It's like a kid learning how to read again. You know, when we were children, we had to learn how to read. Now we got to learn this stuff. See, because we were in the transition. Right, Paul?
Yep.
You know, so now we not only have to know how to read, we got to know how to navigate on the computer, which is where Nicole helps me all the time. She and Marion are just very good at it. Okay? So, what am I getting at? Protect yourself. If you're a buyer, you've got to protect yourself. You write everything on that contract. So now, Nicole's going to come with me. Why? Because she'll help remind me to when I buy what I'm going to buy, I'm going to write on the contract. It is to be delivered and it is to be installed to my satisfaction. And not only that, they wanted to leave before they turned on the television. They said, "Oh, here it is. It's great. This is terrific. As you look, you got a little red light." You know. What do you got, Nemo?
Before you go someplace like that to buy something, why don't you watch your own video that you just made?
You're absolutely right. When he's right, he's right. It's like we know, well, we know to eat our vegetables, right, and our proteins. So what do? We drink Pepsi Cola and we have potato chips, which I love, absolutely love. And we do these bad things, but we know. Knowing and doing, two different things, right? You said that on the video. So what I'm getting at is you must protect yourself. If you've got a buyer comes to you and says, "Oh, I want to buy this house." Well, what makes them think they can buy that house, right? And you took your time, you met them on the property, you paid for the super key to get into the house. It's a lot of time. You show them the property and say, "Okay, I want to buy it." Well, you're very tactful, and you want to qualify them. You want to know that they really can buy. So the first thing I say is, just tell me, just between you and I, how's the credit? Are there any problems? And they'll say, "Why do you want to know that?" Well, because the lender is not going to lend you any money if the credit has a problem. They say, "Well, we're going to pay cash." That's another lie, all right? Maybe he wanted a day out with his girlfriend to look at wallpaper or something. So I said, "Okay, we're going to have to run a credit report. Blame it on the broker. Blame the broker for everything. We're going to have to run a credit report because we just have to do that. We have to verify the down payment. If you don't want to do the credit report, we have to see where your cash is to buy this property before we go any further." And I think that's fair, And they say, "Okay, yeah, I'll make a copy." I says, "Okay, give me a copy of your bank statement for the last 2 months." Lenders always want that. They say, "We want 2 months bank statements." What do you got, Mimo?
When they say you want to pay cash, usually they mean they don't want to have a credit report.
You're right, and who cares? If you want to pay cash, show me the cash.
Give me the source of the money. Where it's going to come from? Is it going to be?
That's right. Where's this money
coming
coming
from?
from?
Or something. And you have to be. You have to
Now,
be sure to
you don't want to confront them directly.
No.
You want to make it a third-party argument, right? You want to say, "Well, this is with the Board of Realtors, and we have to kind of do it this way because if we violate the rules, I could lose my license. And the other broker who represents the seller, because you're my cash buyer, if he gets into trouble, it's going to come on me. So I have to do certain things." So besides, I says, you got plenty of money, you got a lot of cash. Just show me last 2 bank statements that shows this cash. You could, and then, if I show it to the other agent, we'll take a black marker, we'll take out your name, your socials, your bank account, whatever it is, but I know it's yours. Okay? You have got to protect yourself from other human beings. That's what it comes down to. And you got to have people around you who are going to remind you, like Nicole. Who, we watch each other. When you're with someone, your wife, you take 2 heads are better than 1, without a doubt. Let me see what else I got here. A person's motivation. See, this first part was true. Husband and wife came in one day. They said, "We want to buy a house. We got a small child. We don't want a pool. He doesn't want a pool. So we're talking. I says, you know, I'm out of curiosity. How did you two meet? And he says, what do you think? He was very aggressive. He said, what do you want to know that for? I says, you can't believe it. The strangest things happen. Just indulge me. How did you meet? He said, we met on the swimming team. You know what that told me? They're going to buy a house with a pool. And that's exactly what they did. And I says, you know what? We're going to ask for the owner to put a gate around the pool. Or to give you a credit to put in this wrought iron gating around the swimming pool. And then you won't have a problem with the children. And they bought the house. It's little things like that, you know, and I think you said something about observing something from people at some time. You kind of observe a little thing, all right? I can tell you a whole lot about them, okay? Oh, now you're working with a buyer. You gotta have some security. I mean, you're gonna spend a lot of time, you're really gonna do the research, you're gonna find them the right deal. Well, in the last deal I'm on now, I know this buyer for 11 years, okay? And there's a lot of loyalty here and whatnot, but I made it very clear to him. Here are my business cards. Whomever you speak to, you give them the card and you tell them you are working with a broker. Otherwise, a commission is going to be lost. And then I'm not going to help you. And that's what this person did. Okay, and he found the property. Another broker showed it to him, but he told the other broker that he's working with me, and he gave the other broker my card. So we do not have a procuring cause issue. All right? And there's the broker-buyer agreement. If you're not that close, you don't know them for 11 years, you know them for a couple of years, you might want to have an agreement with them. And here's why you're going to make that agreement. You're going to work very hard to find the right deal. You're not just going to pull something out of the MLS. You're going to do a little research here, and you look at the areas, okay? This last deal that I'm on, he looked at properties on the internet with me. He came to my house, used my access codes, which are mine, get into the MLS, and caravan the MLS to find the houses he was interested in. And then he called them from my house to see them. And it worked. It was all done on the internet. I only saw the house after we were in escrow. Okay? And I may go back again to get the key and to see the final walkthrough inspection. But that's it. So this is where the whole business has changed. It's a different business now. It's all internet, email. They don't even fax anymore. Everybody is emailing me. You're talking about a lot of paper, Paul. Let me tell you, I go through cases of paper. And it's incredible. And Isaac ran in here last night and said, I need paper. He takes a case of paper. I said, I'm charging you for that paper. You're going to pay for that paper. So the internet, that's how we found the deal. And I had that agreement and arrangement with the business cards. Okay, I tell people, don't give anyone any money or sign anything without me looking at it. That's the rule. If he calls me up and says, well, Nick, you know, I gave them a deposit, I said, I'm going to hang up on you now. You're going to drive me nuts. You know, forget, you don't give anybody any money, and you don't sign anything. Now, Nicole and I are going to make that couch purchase together, and I don't sign anything or pay them any money until I write on the contract what I want, the way I want it. And that's it. That's going to be that way. Okay, credit report and review of their income. Credit report's about $20, $30. You can go up to $45 on a credit report. That's straight from the Apartment Owners Association. Sometimes you can offer someone a referral fee. So, you know, look, you're going to work with me, we're going to do these things, I can pay you a referral fee. They'll say, well, how much is that? I said, well, it's going to be generous, and I've got to consult with my broker. And that's the way, but you won't be disappointed. And another thing, I'm not cheap on the referral fee, okay? That could be cash, that could be anything that transpires between you and that principal. It's nobody's business, okay? Oh, here's a quick, okay. When people say, when I don't want to do a credit report or verification of funds, when you visit a doctor, and it's on here, don't you fill out a questionnaire and you show ID? You show them your insurance card, then you show them your driver's license, all right? You fill out the, and they give you a thing on a clipboard to fill out, okay? It's always like that, okay? What I'm saying is, aren't you a professional? Why shouldn't you ask for a credit report or verification of funds? You're a professional. You're not sitting here waiting to drive someone around the San Fernando Valley. That is such crap. That's absolutely intolerable. And another thing, people should make appointments with you. Notice, who was here when Nicole was here? Michael's client came in, and another person came in to see Michael, and Michael says, well, I have an appointment coming in. I can't really, I'm waiting for my appointment. And I thought, this other person who just walked in should have made an appointment. When people first walk into Rubicon, they walk in and they usually, if nobody's here, and I'm the only person, as I am, they come over to me. And they say, well, where is Mr. Min? And the first thing I say is, do you have an appointment? That's the first thing I say, and then they say no. That means immediately they are now on the defensive, because I indirectly said, you're supposed to make an appointment. That's what I really said, but do you have an appointment? Okay, and then I say, okay, I'll call Mr. Min and see if he's available, or if you had an appointment. And anyway, see, that's how I get around that. Everybody should make an appointment when they want to talk to us. I think that's it. So I think, Nicole, that's about it. Nicole's on the phone making an appointment.
Okay.
And so it's Rubicon, RE is the website, www, and you can get all our videos on there. Free!
Thank you.
All right? Click, 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 click.